Hello, my name is Azucena Garcia, and here is my digital resources analysis. I will be jumping in and out of the presentation. The first one that I am going to be reviewing is Instapaper, so let me go ahead and type that into the link. As you can see, Instapaper is advertised as being able to read a text for classroom, saving it and reading it anywhere, whether it's on a computer, whether it's on a phone, or whether it's on a tablet. You are not only able to save articles for the classroom, but you can also save videos, song lyrics, or anything else that will be useful in the classroom. You do have to create an account to be able to access all the information. So going over into some pros and cons for Instapaper, some pros are text-to-speech playlists um, are beneficial for lower level reading students as well as multilingual learners. So what I mean by this is that this app does um, offer the opportunity to have a text to speech option for students so that they can listen to the audiobooks in class. Um, and another pro is unlimited notes for scaffolding and intervention. As you can see on the app, um, previously, it allowed for students to create notes, and it can be as many as possible. However, some cons, as you can see from when I was accessing the website, is that you can't access the library to see what um, texts or videos they offer unless you buy the premium. I did try the free option, but it didn't allow me to continue going. But as you can see, you can search as many articles. I'm not sure if a possible con could be lowering the text level for students. That option, again, was not given to me since I don't have the premium option. The second resource I will be going into is Pear Deck. So Pear Deck, I will show it to you guys how it looks before creating an account. So the actual start of it is informational. It gives you a short little video on what it can be used for. And it also tells you all the pros that it offers, such as student engagement, differentiating instruction. And it also gives you some percentages of people that are using this in the classroom. But let me show you guys what it actually looks like if you were to use it in a classroom. So what I do is that I actually added it as an extension for my Google Slides. So let's say that I want to present my bell work for this week. I'm able to just go to extensions, click on Pear Deck and extension. Obviously, you get this option if your school has a Google account, which mine does, and you're able to add that extension and create your own Pear Deck account through your school. What you can do is if you want to present in real time for your students so they can see the same slides that you want to present or a text, you can click Start Lesson and then it'll give you the option to do the student pace or the instructor pace. This is normally what I do when I'm with my whole classroom. However, if I am planning on being absent, I would select the student option. It just has me log in. Okay, not sure why it's taking a while, but as you can see, whatever slide, let's say that I give them a passage to read from. Let's pretend that um, this is our passage for today. I can just click on the options. I can do a draw option so that students are able to draw directly on the passage that I want them to draw over. I can also add a question, have them answer a specific question on the reading that we're doing, offer multiple choice. I can add videos. I can even add audio, especially if I'm going to be absent for the week. This is a good tool to use. But just going over some pros and cons, because yes, Pear Deck is something that's useful in the classroom. Some pros, obviously, it's student paced and teacher paced option, good for when you're there and when you're not there. Students are able to interact with the text presented to them, so they're able to highlight, they're able to draw directly on the text. However, some cons could be if it's too time consuming, if creating slides is not your thing. Um, this could be time consuming. However, there are other apps that can assist you with Google Slides or any other slides that are already done for you. It just depends on what works for you. Um, but yeah, that's Pear Deck. Let me go ahead and we'll look it out to show you guys. So as you can see, Blookit is a gamified um, option for your classroom. It says you can level up classroom engagement with the classroom. Students can select characters. They are all animals, so they can collect or they can select whichever animal. Um, Let me go ahead and log into my account. So I did have a regular account before. You can also create your own. So if you guys want to create a multiple choice quiz or practice for your students, you can create one. You can also import from Quizlet. So if there's already some pre-made Quizlet study guides, you can import it from that. I did purchase the premium option this school year for my students just because we use this a lot in my classroom. As you can see, I have a lot of tabs. A lot of it is just a Acela practice for my ELL students, but there's also grammar in there. If you go to Discover, you can search up adjectives if that is what you are learning in your classroom. Some of them, obviously, you want to go over and edit. I believe it does give you that option, so you can create a copy. And then I believe when I go to my sets, I just have to search for what I just saved, and then I can also edit. Let me just double check. Yes. Once you have the premium option, you can edit it. Again, it's not for everyone. I would recommend to try it out first and see if it's what works for your class before buying the premium. I just use this on a weekly basis. And there are some that are already pre-made for you, so I would highly recommend. Let's go ahead and go into a couple of pros and cons. I do use it, however, there are some cons. So here are some pros. Pros are that it engages students in their classwork and it allows for multiple opportunities. If students get it wrong, they can see the answer and keep retrying for as many minutes as you play the video for. However, some cons is that it is only limited to multiple choice questions, so students don't have the options to write. The next app that I'll be talking about is Actively Learn. So Actively Learn is a reading option. It consists of news and articles for students. So this is useful for ELA, social studies, and science. Let me just show you a little bit of what the ELA content includes. So if you are teaching ELA, it does have some curriculum units. So if you are at a school where your curriculum is not set in stone, you can always pull aside some units that are already done for you. You can also look based off of the genres, what you're looking for, themes, there's ebooks as well. And then obviously some trending things. If you want to do something that's more in connection with what your students are learning in class, you do have that option. Um, as you can see on the right side, you can select articles based on the grade level. So if you are a high school teacher, you can select, whatever content you're teaching. But unfortunately, not all students are at grade level reading, so you can select levels that are way lower um, than the class you are teaching, depending on the students reading levels. They also have Lexile levels, and then you can also um, find an article based on a state standard. So if there's a particular quiz or a particular standard that you want students to hit, you can always look for an article based on that. So let's look at some pros and cons for Actively Learn. So pros is that if you create an account and your students also create an account, you are able to look at where they're at in terms of standards or levels, if they're really comprehending theme, or if they're needing more assistance with that. They also have built-in questions. So when you assign an article for a student to read independently or in class, you can make questions, or some questions are already made for them, and they're required to answer the question correctly in order to continue reading. This is really great because it helps with comprehension. Some cons can be that many of the features require a subscription, so you can't really access much for free. You have to pay for the subscription. Hi guys, so my last one is Edutopia or Edutopia. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly. But this one consists of resources for teachers and for students. So you have multiple options. You can select all topics. So let's look at what they have. They have administration, arts, blended learning, collaborative learning, diversity, engagement, game-based learning, homework, um, stuff for new teachers as well if they are starting off, research, restorative practices, student engagement. They just have a lot of resources that you can look for. The main thing is that they also have videos, so students can um, watch videos, or you can find videos for students depending on whatever topic. So let me just click on. As you can see, this is more for teachers, so it goes into more detail on what you can provide for students. What's good about this is that if you sign up, you have unlimited access to tips and strategies that you can use in your classroom. So if your kids are struggling with reading, okay, I can find various resources on how to boost reading engagement, 5 ways to include writing and reading intervention, anything that applies to what I'm looking for. You can find it through here. And what I did notice is that most of these um, resources are from this year. So typically, when you research something on your own, you find things that are either like 5 years or older. This one is up to date, as you can see. So you can have newer resources and not have to worry about whether or not the resource is something that is relevant to society or the educational setting. Some pros that I found from Edutopia is that it provides opportunities to catch up for students. If a student is absent, you're able to go in and find a strategy about how you can best work with a student that is absent, or even a video that you can play for them that they missed out on. Um, Another pro is students can access these videos as well. And not only students, but the educators can access a whole bunch of strategies and resources that they can use. I saw in there a couple of brain break activities that can also be useful for students and the teacher in the classroom. Some cons is that there was a big section on AI, and AI is not always accurate. So that could be a con when it comes to this. It's just a matter of using it carefully as a resource rather than a main source. But thank you guys for watching. Those were all 5 digital apps that I found or that I've been using in the classroom.